Right, let's go. Hi guys, you just hopefully saw me muddling my way through the first solo in Supersonic. So we're going to go through it, hopefully not too quickly, but hopefully not too slowly as well. So, really cool solo. We're playing over the chorus chord sequence, which is D to A to E to F sharp. There's a slight chord change at the end, and I'll talk about that in a sec. Pretty much, it's all in the same area of the guitar. We're going to be doing mostly on bends on 16. So we're getting a real feel of, it feels to me like A major is the feel of this particular piece. So A major, pentatonic position 5 is what it feels like to me. But we're not playing that many notes, so it could be a couple of other scales, but that to me is what I'm feeling. It's going to start G string, 16th fret. I'm going to bend that up. I'm going to pick it kind of on the way down as well. Then I'm going to go to 14, also on the G. Then back to 16 on the G, back to 14 on the G, then I'm going to go up to D string, 16, 14, 16, 14 on the G, 16 on the D again, and then back to 14 on the D. So if you haven't already, get a pen and some tab paper and rewind that and just go through it, because it's really easy once you just write it all down and have it in front of you. And that's kind of how I see the first lick. Second lick is going to start exactly the same. I'm going to bend 16th fret up, pick it again, then 14 on the G, then I'm going to play 17 on the E, up there, then I'm going to bend 16 up, but a much quicker bend and a shorter bend, only a semitone bend, 16 on the G again, 14 on the G, then I'm going to do some hammering on now. D string, 14 to 16. Then on the G string, I'm going to play 14, 16, 14. Then 16 on the D. So I'll play that second lick through. Then 14 on the G. Going to do another bend on 16, up and down. 14 on the G. 16 on the G. 14 on the G. And then on the D. 16, 14, 16. 14 on the G, then on the D string, 16 and 14. So it's basically the same lick as I did first time. I don't know why I didn't just say that. It's basically the same lick as the first one again. Then we're going to do basically the same lick as the second one again, yeah. I don't know why I hadn't put that together in my head, but so it's basically, it's two licks that we just repeat. There you go, really simple stuff. So it's those two licks played back to back. Yeah, so that's basically all that solo is. Now, as we come out of the 14, the tonality of the song kind of changes, and we don't really hear a lot of chords in the background, and there's some RRs going on. And we're going to go all the way down to this end of the guitar, and I'm going to play the bottom part of an E. So I'm going to play first fret on the G, open B and E. Then I'm going to play an open E string. Then I'm going to play a C sharp 9, which is 4th fret with your middle finger, third on the A string, 3rd fret with your first finger on the D string, and then with my ring finger I'm going to play the G string and the B string. I'm also going to play the E string as well, all on the 4th fret. So it ends up being 4, 3, 4, 4, 4. I'm just going to let that ring, and then I'm going to go back into that lick, which you've seen my video on how to do the rhythm parts, or then you've already seen that lick before. That's basically all this first solo in this song is. It's two licks that are very similar, and then you repeat that, and then you have that little bit as your ending. And that's basically it. Really, it sounds so good. So now, you're going to see me muddling my way through the outro solo, which is much longer and much muddlier, and then we'll go through that hopefully also, you know, not too quickly, but not too slowly. Okay, so outro solo. So just seen obviously that main solo. So I'm going to try and go through it, you know, relatively quickly because I don't want this video to be about 45 minutes, which it easily could be. So let's just crack straight on. So basically, the first part of this outro solo, you've still got the vocal line. On the vocal line of cool, you're going to then start the solo. And over that lick, you still got the line, nobody can ever hear him call. And as you hit that note, you let it ring, is when you got the call. That is exactly the same as the first lick in the first solo. So I've already gone through that in this video, so I'm not going to go through it again. And that is exactly the same as the second lick in that solo I've just gone through, okay? So if you need to find those two licks, they are in the previous solo, but that's how it starts. Then the third lick in this outro solo is basically going to be almost identical. So that's basically the same as the first lick again, but I'm going to carry on. 16 on the D, and then I'm going to bend that 16 up. Now the hard bit here is there's two guitars going on. There's no easy way to say it. There's another guitar overdubbed over the top of the guitar we've already got. So we're kind of muddling through and trying to squish the two sections together. So I'm going to do the best job that I can. So as I said, we've just finished up the first lick again. So we go first lick, second lick, first lick again, and then we go straight into 16 on the D, 14 on the G, and then I'm going to do this bend 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Just quite quickly. And then I'm going to do another bend where I go up and down, same bend, all 16th on the G string. So 4 in a row, then on the 5th one I'm going to go up and down, pull off to 14, then 16 on the G. 16 on the D, 16 on the D. 14 on the G, 14 on the G, 14 on the G. Then I'm going to hammer on 14 to 16 on the G string, then 14 on the G. Okay, so that little section there is my muddling together of the two guitars. Okay, so that's the tough bit. Let's carry on. So this next lick is going to be basically the first lick again. This is going to be very similar to the second lick. We're going to do the bend the same. I'm going to bend it up. I'm going to re-pick it. Then to 14, 17 on the B. Do the quick bend on 16 on the G. Then 16 again, 14. Now for this hammering on bit, it's slightly different here. I'm going to do a hammer on the D string, 14 to 16, just as I do in the normal second lick. Then I'm going to do 14 to 16 on the G. Not going to do the pull off, just the hammer on. I'm going to go back to the D string and do another hammer on. So I end up going like that. Very, very hard not to let that ring together a little bit. So it ends up being that, rather than, it's going to be tiny change, but that is what that is. That's what that little section is. So we've gone through the first page in my notes. So we've got lick 1 from the first solo, then lick 2 from the first solo, then lick 1 again from the first solo. Then we've got the 2-bar section where there's 2 guitars going over. Then we go back and do lick 1 again. I'm trying to hold my pick. Lick 1 again, and then we go through lick 2, and we just change the final beat of that lick 2. So it's almost just the same 2 licks played through. That's how close we are to just having the same 2 licks, but that's how the first sequence goes through of this outro solo. So now, we've just gone back to that 14th fret on the G string, just as we do before. Now I'm going to do the bend on 16 again, re-pick it, 14 on the G. Now I'm going to go 16 on the G, 14 on the G, then on the D string, 16, 14, 16. So you're saying this is familiar, but it will stop being less familiar in a sec. 14 on the G, then I'm going to do that bit again, 16, 14, 16 on the D, 14 on the G, then I'm going to do that bit again, 16, 14, 16 on the D, then 14 on the G. So all we do is we just play that lick 3 times in a row effectively. So it starts off like the normal first time, then we do the same lick again, but we do it 3 times in a row. And then this is again, there's 2 guitars going over, so we're going to muddle through and do the best we can. We're going to bend 16th fret up, and we're going to do it 3 times, and then on the 4th one I'm going to go up and down. Then I'm going to play 16 a couple of times. I'm aiming to hit an open G string there, but I think I missed it when I played through the solo. So there is an open G string there right at the end of that bar, on the and of 4 of that bar, but I think I missed it, and it's probably not the most important note, but it is there. So then what we've got through the, that's basically the main bulk of this solo. So as I've already gone through the first page, the top part of this second page of my notes, you don't have the notes, so it's not going to make any sense to you. But basically we just go back through and start doing lick 1 again, but we do that end lick, the 3 times in a row, and then we've got the 2 guitars going. That kind of a feel for that end of that section. Now we're going to again have 2 guitars. I'm going to concentrate on the guitar that's doing the hammering on, because the other guitar is effectively playing through lick 1 and lick 2 from our previous solo for the rest of the song. And you could do that for the rest of the song and it would sound absolutely great. And so if you're happy with what you've got so far, feel free to not do this final little bit, because actually you've got a really cool solo there. But I'm going to go through it for completists. So effectively we've got a hammering on section. Really hard to hear because there's just enough distortion to make these double stops when you've got 2 notes to ring together, and muddy enough that it's quite hard to hear. But I'm going to do it as best I can with the help of the official tab book as well. So thank you, official tab book. I'm going to do 14th fret double stop D and G. That's going to be my kind of home base, and then I'm going to be hammering onto 16th fret on the D. I should move my guitar a bit so you can see that a bit better. There you go, like that. So I'm going to do that hammer on. Then I'm going to play it with my ring finger still down. Then I'm going to take my ring finger off and play it twice more. Then I'm going to hammer on again. Ring finger off, play it again. Then hammer on again. Keep it down and then off. Then hammering on. Okay, so what I'd actually do if I was playing this is I'd ad-lib. I wouldn't do this super accurately, I'd just be ad-libbing that part, but that's how it goes. We've gone through it there really slowly. That's how it goes, okay? So then we're going to do another same thing again. Hammer on. Then I'm going to hit just the G string. Then I'm going to hit the double stop twice. Hammer on again. D string. Then I'm going to stretch up for the A string 14. Flatten my finger back down for the double stop again. I'm going to do this bend, 16th fret first on the G, then I'm going to go, so pick it, and then pick it twice more, and then bend it down, 14 on the G. Again, I think there's an open G, but I think I missed it when I played my playthrough, but don't mention that. Then back to this home position, 14th fret on the D and the G. I'm going to hammer on. Double stop, double stop. So there's 4 double stops there in a row. Another hammer on, and then the double stop twice. Another hammer on, double stop, then hammer on, two double stops. Sorry, I lost my words there. And then hammer on again, double stop. Then I'm going to play 14, 16, 14, all on the G. I'm going to do this bend again. Pull off to 14. One, so bend it. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, pull off to 14, 16 on the D. 14 on the G, and that's when the fade out really starts, and it's harder to hear, but it sounds like he's just starting to do the same thing again. But it's, I mean, he's obviously ad-libbing it, so I would do the same thing as well. So, but that's it super accurately. But effectively, as long as you're ad-libbing 14th fret on the D and the G, hammering onto that 16th fret on the D string, you're going to get the right vibe. And that's how the solo ends, that's how it fades out. But as I said before, you could just be doing... You know, just doing those two licks over and over again because they sound fantastic. And that's it. 2 solos in one video, so hopefully it won't be too long, but it might be a reasonable length. What I would say for this, if you've skipped through to the outro solo, is actually learn the first solo first, because it's so vital for the outro solo, because the outro solo is just built off those 2 licks. But it's relatively simple for how awesome it sounds. For an awesome simpleness ratio, this is off the charts. So I definitely recommend learning this. If you're comfortable with doing bends, then this is going to sound great, and it's a good way to work on your picking as well. So, as usual, thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. That's 2 videos on Supersonic. I probably will swing back to Supersonic for a live version at some point, but the next Oasis song will be the outro solo from Some Might Say from the Main Road gig. There you go. It's a very specific one. So that'll be my next Oasis video some point next week. As usual, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. I hope you find it useful and you can rock out some awesome Oasis tunes. And as usual, I really appreciate it if you like the video, if you could like the video, because it genuinely really, really helps me. And the same with commenting on it. Again, it really, really helps. And subscribing to the channel. All of those things are very, very, very important to me, and I really appreciate anyone who's taken the time to do any of those things. And I will see you again, as I said, it's going to be some Might Say outro from the Main Road gig, so that'll be fun. Yeah, and I'll see you guys again soon for some more awesome Oasis tunes. Bye-bye.